Thomas, thank you for joining us. It's been a whirlwind day, an early start for you, I know. It's a pleasure to finally officially welcome you to Charlton as our new owner. Just how good does that feel?
Oh my God, this is fantastic. I mean, I've been working on this day and night for the past 4 weeks, and finally last night and here this morning, we made it all come together. So we can now have stability in the club. We can, it's going to be fantastic. Emotionally, I don't even know where I'm at. It's definitely one of the best days of my life. I mean, up there with when my two kids were born, it's like that.
It's almost like Charlton is another child for you to look after now.
Well, child, I don't know. I'm one of the many babies. I don't know.
Well, I know.
I mean, we all know this is the most fantastic fan base in all of England. So that's one of the really exciting things about this.
Yeah, I'll ask you about the fans in a minute. I mean, I know that. I mean, this might be one of the reasons that the answers you give here, but I know you were looking at a few other clubs.
Right.
But what was it about Charlton that made it the perfect fit for you?
Well, the history of the club is absolutely stunning. And I know here that the past 10 years, it may not have been that great, but the foundation is there to bring it back to what it used to be. And the history, I mean, it's amazing what I've been met with from so many hundreds, if not thousands of fans. Then obviously you look at the demographics, you look at all of southeast of London, and you look at, maybe even all the way down to the coast. That is actually a base for where I know in the past, and there's a potential for all kinds of new potential players to come into the academy and get up to the ranks. It has so much potential for developing the academy that way. And we got a coach or manager like Lee Boyer. I mean, this club is ready to take it to up through the championship very easily. We just need a few more signings to make the team a little stronger, have a few more players on each position, and this is going to be amazing. So yeah, there are a million reasons. Obviously, then you start looking at other clubs, and some have some positives, but they also have a lot of negatives. With Charlton, it was pretty much just positives all along, and the problems were at the ownership level, maybe at the board of directors, and all the stuff that's been going on there. So that's what I decided to tackle, and last night finally got it figured out.
Just how challenging was it to complete this deal, with bearing in mind everything that's happened in the last 9 months? And because it was a mess, we all knew that, and it was something that you had to clean up, I guess. And I mean, was that a challenge you sort of thrived on and made you more desperate to get this done and cleaned up?
Well, it's now you're catching me right when we finished up and all that. So a lot of it it's an element of being very emotional to me, because it's definitely at times been a very uphill battle, nearly impossible. People are not necessarily best friends in the different groups that we've been talking to here. So I've been able to have a pretty good dialogue with everybody. That's probably what made it happen. I'm normally a very patient person, but also very stubborn. I think that helped as well. Yeah. And it's been emotional in a lot of ways. I've been very anxious to make it happen because it was so dear to me, and but you can also say on some level it's been a little entertaining to go through this process. I've learned a lot.
Yeah, I bet.
Learned a lot about a lot of the behind the scenes stuff in English football. That's been very interesting, and just enjoyed talking to so many people, not necessarily the main characters, but all the people in between and associated with it, etc. It's been an interesting learning process.
And the Valley and the training ground has obviously been a bit of a hurdle during this situation, it's fair to say. Are you happy with that situation, how that's been resolved? Are you able to share a little bit about that situation as it stands? And
Absolutely. It was pretty clear early on that we couldn't come to terms on the purchase, but by undoing some of the weird side agreements that were between all the parties, and at the same time ending up with a totally clear and very straightforward rental agreement on the stadium and the training grounds. We obviously had to pay a lot more for that than the previous people to get to that point. But it's now so straightforward. It's going to be very easy to run the club. We'll have access to the training grounds and the stadium the next 15 years, and at some point maybe we'll negotiate a purchase. But for now, we have it's peace and quiet. We have stability, and then that's going to be at the right time.
Yeah.
Where we potentially will discuss that. So. It's that's really what matters most to me, that we can focus on what's happening on the pitch. We can focus on building the team, building more out on the academy. Of course, it's my ambition to make it even better than it already is, and that's where the focus is going to be now.
So you were at the Valley for the first time properly last Saturday.
Probably, yeah.
You weren't sneaking over the fence.
That's right, yeah.
What did you make of it? Obviously, there was 1,000 fans in, so it gave you a little bit of an idea about what it's like with fans in, not the full picture. But how did that make you feel? It must have given you a good feeling.
I can't even find words for it. I was literally shocked. I didn't know what to do, what to think when they found out I was walking into the stadium there. That welcome was undescribed. There are no words that can describe it. I felt so welcomed. I was literally in tears. I don't think anybody can see that, but it was amazing. It was just a continuation of all the support that I've seen leading up to this, and I'm definitely committed to make sure that. I will not let anybody down. I will do everything I possibly can to do this club right and do the fans right.
So you've obviously been in communication with fans via social media, which has been great to see. Yeah. I mean, it's a silly question, but what have you made of our fan base? Obviously, they've been burnt over the last 7 years on more than one occasion. So it takes a lot for them to trust and to welcome someone new, but they have done to you with open arms already. So yeah. What have you made of what you've seen from the fans in your discussions and what you've seen?
Yeah, that's right, because there's been a very, very strong, deep need and desire to have someone come in on the ownership level. And just the fact that there was something going on, that triggered a lot of positive responses. At the same time, a lot of people have been suspicious about, so what's this about? Is he just going to say he wants to buy the club, but maybe he walks away because he's not patient enough or for other reasons? And so there's been a lot of people being suspicious, and I get it. I mean, for the stories, but thousands of fans that I've been in dialogue with, the stories I've gotten, I see where they're coming from. They couldn't trust anything. So I'm just I mean, obviously actions speak louder than words. So number one is I got it done, and now I'll make sure I do right by the club and by the fans going forward. And it's all about what we do for the club, what we do for the community, what we do for the fans. And a lot of it obviously starts with the first team winning some games, but we'll get to that here. We'll be in a very strong position just in a matter of days, but there's more to come about that.
Of course. There's obviously been a very healthy connection with Denmark and Charlton over the last few decades, really. Alan Simonsen, Dennis Rommedahl, Klaus Jensen, just to name a few players. I'm sure
it gives me goosebumps just even thinking about it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You must have a couple of favourites in there. Obviously, someone like Alan Simonsen. Was he someone that you?
Alan Simonsen. I mean,
younger.
Back then, he was. I mean, the best player in Europe at that time, right? That must have been fantastic to see him play over there. Klaus Jensen, and you know, I think I've always been the fastest player on the field when I play, but I'm not sure if I ever was as fast as Dennis Rommedahl.
But we'll always learn Rommedahl because he scored the winner against Crystal Palace in the last.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was an important one.
So, what's the next step? Obviously, it's your first day as Charlton owner, but what do the next few days and weeks look like? Short term, obviously, it's I guess about strengthening the squad. Is that the first thing you need to do with your feet under the table?
Yeah, well, obviously, number one is to, with the embargo lifted, to support Steve and Lee with getting a few signings done that we have lined up. That's number one. But whatever I need to do in that process to help it, and then obviously I got to come over. I gotta meet everybody in the club because last time I was there at the game, it was very tentative. I mean, of course, everybody knew who I was, and I didn't know anybody or very few people yet. But I obviously I couldn't behave as if I owned the club because nothing was official at that point in time. So really getting to know everybody and every corner at the club, I build a good relationship with everybody and learn what everybody are doing.
Brilliant. And obviously beyond the short term, it's obviously a long-term project, isn't it, for you? And you're not planning on going anywhere for a very long while yet.
No, not. First, I want to see here in the next 3 to 5 years. I want to see that we get up to the Premiership. I want to make sure that we, over the next maybe 5-year period after that, that we grab a strong foothold. We, as a minimum, get up and stay solid in the middle of the league. And then the next 5 years after that, it's my intention to build this club up to a level where we are among the better clubs in Europe and play European football.
Well, that's something that Charlton fans have been dreaming of their whole lives. So if that's something we can pull off, let's
we will make it happen. We can make things happen. So, happen. Yeah.
Make some dreams happen. Thomas, thank you so much. Well, not just for this interview, but for sticking around with the patience to get this deal done, and for making a positive change for Charlton as a supporter and an employee. Really looking forward to what the next however many years has to offer. So the fun starts here.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, thanks, Ollie. We'll talk more, I'm sure.
Brilliant. See you soon, Thomas. Thank you.
Thank you.